Okay, that might send a message to you. I'm not sure. So, welcome.
Yeah.
This is our week 2. So, we're finishing day 7, and tomorrow we go on to day 8. So, this week we come into just reviewing what we've done, and it's more about finding little techniques or little tricks to make sure that we're actually doing those little things. Now, I know a lot of people see them and it's very easy to discount the practices because they're too easy, they're too whatever. But then at the same time, there's that flip where you can slip into overwhelm and it looks like a whole lot. So, just going through that list very quickly, I won't even worry about the bottom for now. So, doing our breathing, is it easy to find somewhere through the day to actually take some nice deep breaths into your belly and out? Anyone think that's too hard?
Well,
Easy?
I found that
I know.
quite easy. I either did it while I
Mm,
was in bed,
mm.
or when I had my breakfast, I'd have my breakfast out there and I'd put my laptop up to see where I was today. And I'd do it then while I'm reading my emails, and which I don't know whether it's a good thing, but I only had to
Oh,
do
that's
that a
good.
couple of times. And then the same with
Mm.
my jaw.
Yes.
So if I didn't get to do them in bed before I got up, I did them while I was, during my breakfast, not while I was eating, but yes, during that
No.
time. Because now that I sit down and I have time for breakfast rather than eating on the go, um, which is a good habit that I've picked up from, well, both this and also from the Healing Hands. I find those exercises easy to do.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mm.
That's great because they do make a difference. It is activating the parasympathetic nervous system so that we are calming ourselves down. And, you might have thought that maybe it wasn't a good time, but any time is a good time. It's nice to take time out where you've got nothing else to think of. But you know what? If you're doing it when you're busy, that's chilling you out that little bit. And a lot of time when we need to focus on that breath, as I've mentioned before, during childbirth, it can bring you into a very grounded state, a very present state. You're not focusing on pain and you're not actually feeling it a lot of the time because you have relaxed yourself. Yeah, but there's a lot more going on than just our brain that feels pain. So often it's heart. So when we're all centered, that eases some of it to start with. So well done. Before we
I think
mention,
it would have been a better time for me to do it at night because in the
yeah,
morning I'm already calm.
yeah,
Um, so it probably would be. I should try this week to do it at night
yeah,
so that I'm doing it just before I go to sleep.
yeah.
However, after saying that, I'd forgotten all about the music on at night. And so I started doing that because, getting your 8 hours sleep and whatever. I thought, oh, don't know why I stopped the practice. And
Yeah.
I found that I'm sleeping better too. I'm not getting up as many times during the night.
Well, that's lovely. That's a really good result. It's something a lot
Mm,
of people in the advertising that I have put out, a lot of people actually commented that they're always tired. So I know that's not always as a result of not getting sleep, but the fact that you get sleep actually helps you
yes,
not feel so
yes.
tired as well. So it does
Yeah.
work in synergy. Oh, I did notice Sandy had mentioned to me that she did remember to do the jaw exercises while she was driving. So, you
Mm,
might not think that's a good time, but it's a time you can actually do it.
mm.
And again, the effects it's having is actually relaxing the muscles through your body. So, when's a good time? There might be better, but that's a pretty good time. You're actually doing something. So, how about you,
I don't know
Linda?
whether I want my muscles relaxed when I'm driving.
Well, I know well, when you are actually relaxed, sorry, you often can still have really good reflexes. Okay, you
Oh,
might
yeah.
feel like you're not going to be able to react quickly, but if you are very tight on the steering wheel, there's a lot to let go of that, for instance. I don't mean the steering wheel, but because everything's tight, then it's hard to respond, in an instant to what else you have to do. So yeah, that's good. Anyone?
Sorry, I just had a phone call, I think, from your dad, and I pressed the red button. You turned it on to photos, so I've disconnected him. He might ring back.
Oh dear. So the water, how did you go with that? Any comments?
Uh,
Oh, water was fine.
You find
yeah,
easy,
water
Perfect.
was
easy to do?
fine, but I really had to sometimes during the day because I have like a glass in the morning and and some at night before during the day I'd get out there working in the garden. I'm going, oh, I need to go and have a drink, which I knew I was thirsty, but I'd say, oh, just do this and then I'll go in, and so
Yeah.
yeah, probably would have could have drunk more than I did. Don't you
Yeah,
touch
good.
anything.
How about you, Linda?
Well, I record things, so and I've also measured out the cups that I drink out of. So I have the
Excellent.
regular cups, and so like I'll have 150 in one. I've actually gone to a bigger one that's about 450, and when I have it there, and then a 300 one, instead of having I thought about a jug, but then I'm drinking different things at different times. So I got an idea of the measurements. So when I do, I'll jot it down, and I've been pretty good to get two and over two. Like even today, I'll drink more before I go to bed, and so I should get me 200, be 2 litres in.
Also,
I've either been two or over, which I find water is very important.
yes.
And I've got to ask, so if I'm having, see, I have water in, if I have water in tea, I don't class it as water, but if I have it in something that's natural, I class it. Like I've got a nature's cuppa that I have, once a day. But if I'm drinking tea, I find, well, I sort of discount the tea, even though there's still water in it.
Right.
So
So I
I
think
do,
there's
I
a
do,
little bit of choice there. Now, that doesn't
yeah,
necessarily mean we're right in our choice. The way I look at it is that if it's still a fairly clear drink, then that's good. If it's got more substance to it, like coffee
mm,
does seem to have a bit
coffee
more
does, yeah,
substance, plus you know
yeah,
that it's got the caffeine and so forth,
yeah,
then I don't count that. I
yeah,
don't count alcohol. I don't count
no,
cordials and things like that.
yeah.
But, if it's a reason,
Yeah,
like
I
I
If it's a
heard
cup
find
of
that,
tea, I will
tea,
sometimes count, and
yes.
other times, I've drank plenty, so I don't even need to.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
And yes, and because what happened in winter was I just felt like I needed some of that hot, so I drank hot water in my coffee cup, as
yeah,
meaning I've got a cup of coffee, but I really didn't. It was just hot water,
Yeah,
yeah. I
warm
drink,
good,
I
water.
drink
good, good
I drink a
substitution.
lot of hot water.
Yeah.
Through the winter, and even, yeah, when it gets warmer, I probably don't do it, but I drink a lot of hot water. First thing, I'll have a half cold with warm water,
Mm.
because I have vitamin C and MSM powder in the morning with that, and then I'll have just hot water. That's my first big cup, and that's before I start the day. That's just how I start my day. And
I
you were
never used to
talking
drink hot water until I
either,
started this
either did
challenge the
I.
very first time.
No, I've always liked hot water, especially in winter, because I can't have cold water or lukewarm, warm water or even hot water. And by the time you get to finish it, it's a big cup. It's cool, but come
Mm,
Mm,
summer, it'll be back to me cooler water and colder
cool
water.
water, yeah.
But
yeah.
if I can just mention about the breathing, I did it once in bed, and I thought I need to do this in bed every time because it was really relaxing. But then there's
Mm.
moments I get out of bed and oh, you didn't do your breathing, so then I'll have to, either. Can you sit and do it, or have you got to
Of
stand?
course. You can
Yeah,
you can
so
do it all
sometimes
day
I'll
long
sit.
if you want to.
I'm not
Once
sure. Yeah,
once it's a
I'll
habit,
yeah,
it doesn't really matter. You can do it all day long.
yeah.
So,
I
well,
did it in the
that's what I
car.
think.
I did it in the car today because I've only had 6 hours sleep last night because we're up at 4 and to get to Roma, and so tonight I'm feeling a bit weary and flat, but that's life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it in the car coming up. So, and my jaw, because normally I sit. I always have a quiet time in the morning, and do me stretches and me jaw and my breathing and all that. And I didn't get to do that this morning, but I found time to fit it in through the rest of the day.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, a
So,
really quick one. I was doing the markets the other day, and for the first time, they had no one at the markets that was selling food. And there's supposed to be
oh,
somebody there. So I don't know what happened. Um, but there wasn't water either. And then my
mm,
husband went away
mm,
and he had a meeting, so he couldn't even bring me any water straight back. And
mm,
I was really parched early.
mm,
And I thought, there's no way. Like that was, 10 o'clock or something. And I'd been out there, my face was a bit red and all of that sort of thing. But the good thing was that because I was very conscious that I should have been drinking water, I'd only had a glass. Usually I have a couple of glasses before I leave the house. And so I think I'd had two, like, earlier in the morning and then before I left, and no more water. But because then it was on my mind, it was surprising that I actually got the water into me very early.
mm,
And I wasn't, gurgling it. It was just that I was aware of it and paid close attention to being a little bit thirsty. So I just made sure.
mm.
So yeah, sometimes we can not do the right thing, but I think with this, it's a reminder that is on our brains and that we can, that was just how it worked with me anyway, that I ended up easily smashing my water that day, even though I
mm.
started off not good at all. I thought I wouldn't get it in. So I'm just going through the list. I might just get you to say yes, if you can just say yes
Yep.
together or no if you had trouble, and then we'll come back and list, some of our takeaways like we have
Mhm.
then. So you've done beautiful. Thank you. I think anyone listening will have some good points to take notice of. So was it easy to do 5 minutes of movement?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I've
Awesome.
moved
So
a lot
it's
of
not
movement.
hard.
Yeah.
It's only 5 minutes. You may have a bigger goal, but when you come back to
Yeah.
this, if you're using our requirements, then 5 minutes is smashed very easily. So don't
Oh,
be too
yes.
Mm.
hard on yourself. It's not hard to do. The fueling with fiber is often a tricky one. Easy or hard? Yes or no? Yes
I've
for
found
easy.
I've
Yes, easy.
I found it fine, yeah, because it depends.
Yeah.
Like it depends. I have wholemeal bread. I have spinach. You have your vegetables like carrot and um, sweet potato, and I had beetroot, and usually have it in a salad form or I had figs today. It was a
Beautiful.
special one I have it here at Roma. The only thing is it meant to be a spinach one and they didn't have spinach, they put lettuce in it. So I was a little bit disappointed, but then I said, oh well, it's still good, it'll still be fine. And
Well, I
but
would
I
say
found,
that
yeah,
your beautiful pictures coming through is very inspiring. And when as soon as they come through, it's like a reminder
Mm.
yeah,
to, oh yes, get some more of that into me. It feels
I think
good.
because I have to have veggies at every meal and the
yeah,
rye bread
Yeah,
and an apple every day, it's
it's your
easy
fibre.
done, the fiber.
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. Well, as I
yeah.
said,
And
that's usually the tricky one for people.
I
Um,
love me fruit, like apple and banana and that. So that's yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Apple's got, yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. Being kind. So smile, some sort of kind words, acts, or some kindness to yourself. Easy, hard.
I didn't find
Oh,
it
pretty
hard.
easy this week.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it depends. I was sitting here tonight thinking, well, I've been with a friend, I've been kind there, and there's and that, but because I'm tired, I've probably been a bit testy with my husband, so I'll sort of have a chat to him
You have to
later
be
on.
kind to him.
Well, it comes and goes, but sometimes I just realise, no, I'm probably so my attitude wasn't as nice as it could be. So,
And
you
that's
know,
part of what this challenge is about, is that we reflect because it's on here, we reflect on what we've done. And so, that's a reminder to you, Linda. Sometimes it's a reminder
And
to me, oh, if I smiled enough, and the same,
and do you know the one you forget is being kind to yourself? Because I'm going, what have I done? Like
yeah,
on a Wednesday, I'm at home and I don't want to go out anywhere because I want to just get lots of things done being my day off, especially when like this week I had Thursday, Friday, and Sunday I was looking after Flynn and Rosie. And I'm going, you forget to be kind to yourself, don't you?
you do. It's
I
very
do.
very, very easy. And I've seen some other
Mm,
beautiful things going on that shows that you are actually being kind a lot of the time anyway. So well done. Resting well. Have you been able to spend 8 hours in bed? Now remember,
not every
sometimes it
night.
might be not every night, but you've done the best you could. That's still
Most
Yeah,
fine.
I'm
two
pretty
night.
it's I can pretty much get 8, but Thursday I only got 7.5, and last night it was 6. So that's probably
Yeah,
the
so
worst I've had.
I've had one
Yeah,
night 6 and one night 7.5 out of the week. So
yeah.
yes, the other nights
And
have been
that
good.
and
Yeah.
that's because we had to get here early, so we had to leave early and everything.
Yeah,
But tomorrow I'll have a bit of a lie in. We
Yeah.
don't have to leave here, we're going on to
yeah.
Toowoomba, so but yeah.
Okay, well, I'll comment on that straight away. That part of the reason I'm hearing it from you that you make sure you get better sleep
Mm,
or a sleep in or whatever it happens to be the next night if you haven't had your 8 hours. Now, what happens is when we get down to 6 or below, it's actually as if we've been under the influence of alcohol or something. Our
mm,
brain
mm,
just does not um, act, the cognition is not the same as when we have a good night's sleep. It's really hard
yeah.
for our brains. Everything slows down, just like if we don't have water, the messages don't get
Mm,
through as
mm,
well, besides the fact that our body itself isn't hydrated,
yeah.
and all the consequences there. But going back to the brain, your brain needs water too, because it is one
Mm,
of the
mm,
most, um,
mm,
the highest percentage, I think,
yeah.
in the brain is water. So we want to keep that there for a good thinking. And a lot of people who have responded have said, well, at one stage that there seemed to be a lot saying that they weren't able to think clearly and their memory wasn't as good.
Mm,
So it's just that little reminder. It's only a little help. It's not everything, but it's a good start. And what I loved was the way that you actually compensated and made sure you rested. And yeah, that's
Had a
basically what
line.
happened with
Yeah.
me too.
yeah.
So well done.
Mm.
I'm living with gratitude. Easy or hard?
Yes, I've written every night something that in my diary, something
Mm.
that I'm grateful for. Yes.
Awesome.
So
Same
that
as
was
you.
easy.
Oh yeah,
Easy?
there's usually yeah, I can get a list of things,
Yes.
sometimes
Beautiful.
might be one or two bigger ones, but there's always something to be grateful for
Mm.
because
Yes.
yeah,
Beautiful. So just a
yeah,
really quick one. Once you start finding one thing, have you found that it's easier to find more without trying?
yeah. Well, I
Yes,
can.
because one night I thought, oh, I want to write this, but oh, I'm also for this. And I thought, no, I'm
Yeah,
just picking one thing.
yeah,
So yes, it was easy because, one day you could say, well, it was just such a lovely, warm, non-windy day.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I
but there was something
yeah.
else I was grateful for too. So yes.
So
Well,
also, sorry.
I usually at the end of the day, not every time, I just write down the things that I am grateful for. And I can get a little list. I can get 4 or 5, sometimes 6,
Mm,
depending on the day and because different things happen. Some are more than others. Just even stuff that my husband does, or talking to somebody, having a chat with somebody, and just being out in nature and the birds and my dog. There's lots
mm,
of things
Yeah.
that,
So if
yeah.
you feel like
yeah.
writing them, more than one, you can. But so long as the
Mm,
next day, if you're pushed for time and you get one, that's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
bad thing. It's
yeah.
you've done that, you've thought of it. You
Mm,
don't
Mm,
even have to write it down if you don't want to. If
mm,
you know that you've thought of it, give it a tick straight away.
yeah, yeah.
It helps. And I think the thing for me, I find, is that when my mind is focusing on all these things I'm grateful for, it's
Mm,
really hard to, makes a difference. You don't
to be a
feel so
grump.
down. Yeah, well, you're not as grumpy, you're not as sad or
mm,
or even lonely, I guess, but down in the dumps, because there is all this other
Yeah.
um, all these other things that you're grateful for. So the
It's
last one,
amazing when someone says to you now, oh, geez, and they come up with something horrible. You go, but be grateful that it was this
mm,
instead of this.
yeah.
So,
Find a
yes,
positive,
it's
find the
easy,
positive,
yeah,
finding
to
the
find a
positive
positive
because,
now in
yeah.
things rather than
yeah,
when it's easy to try and cheer people up.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Just
Finding
nice.
your peace, easy or hard?
Yes. Probably finding my peace is probably the hardest of the lot. But yes, I
Mhm.
still managed to do it this week, so that was good.
Awesome. And it
So,
doesn't even have to be like we had a little list there. Oh, well, prayer, meditation. We talked about a lot of other things last week.
mm,
But even if it's just that time to sit and do your breathing, even
yeah,
that
yeah.
is finding your peace. So if that's all you did and you, well, maybe not when you're driving, but if you found your time some other time,
Sorry.
that is perfectly fine. If you
Mm.
feel like you found peace, that's great. There are a whole lot of things on the internet this week, of course, with Charlie Kirk. So I think
Yeah,
even a lot of
yeah.
that was really some of it peaceful, some of it challenging, but whatever.
Mm,
Okay, these ones we'll just do a yes or no. If you manage to find time to do it. So some of them I haven't done personally. So let's go. Relax and hydrate balance. Well, we all did that,
we
so
did,
we should
we
Did
have
did
a
that.
that one.
tick. The
Mm-hmm.
muscles balance or weight bearing exercise, e.g.,
So
push up.
I started strength a couple of times. So I'm doing one walk a mile and one strength. So the first day I did upper body strengthening with the weights.
Awesome.
I might add it's only a 1 kilogram weight.
That's
She
okay.
That's
uses
just all right.
five.
That's all right.
That's okay.
You
Well
can,
done. The
yeah,
next one,
yeah,
preparing a high fiber food dish. Yes.
yes,
Yep.
yes,
Beautiful.
Yes.
Fun outdoors activity.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
yes,
At
Easy.
the
I thought
park.
I saw some of
yeah.
those.
There's always, yeah,
Premeditated act of kindness.
yeah. I did that
I'm
one.
just, yes, I'm
I
just,
went out. I went out with a friend. Like
Beautiful.
we got together, and but I had to pick her up and help her with a wheelie walker and all that. So there was a lot
Yep.
of that, and that was
Mm.
yeah, that was
So,
a
Beautiful.
premeditated
That was
one. It was
mine too.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, can I call this it then? So at the last minute, Beck's mum couldn't look after Flynn on a Sunday because it's her book club. So she
Mm,
asked me, and I said yes. It wasn't
mm,
really convenient because I'd planned
No.
something else, but I said yes. So is that premeditated act?
Well, I wondered the same thing when I was doing mine, and but then I thought to myself, well, you know what? These things come back. I had a choice whether to
yeah,
do it or not, and I chose
Yeah,
and you
to alter my
yeah,
program
yeah,
yeah,
to
yeah.
yeah,
to help this person out or
yeah,
whatever
Person
it
out,
happened
yeah.
to be.
Oh,
So,
okay, yep. So that's
yeah.
okay. That's
yeah.
good then.
And so remember down the bottom, we've got remember you have choices. So if you look
Mm,
at it
Yeah,
and you go, yeah,
mm,
I went out of my way to do it. It wasn't just I was walking past and smiled and
mm.
didn't think about it. I actually considered it.
yeah. Went out,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Fine. So, but it's your choice. If you don't think it is, then that's
Oh,
that's
well,
up
I
to
Yeah,
just
you.
thought, well, yes, because I hadn't put it in my weekly planner. It was a last minute thing, whereas looking after Flynn on Friday was pre-booked and everything.
Beautiful.
Like it was.
Beautiful. So the stress balance, which we haven't done yet, but the stress balance and pamper set session, it could be either.
So getting my hair done to me was a pamper session.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
No, I
Looks like
haven't had
Lydia's
that. I
had
was
hers
gonna,
done too.
Just so
I was gonna.
happened that it was this week.
Very good.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, last Friday.
I was
yeah.
gonna try and get a massage today, but that didn't happen. So I haven't done that one this
But you
week.
had that beautiful shower, I remember.
Yes.
So,
And
and
if I can just briefly
oh,
share this afternoon here, I'm in Roma and we're at our the back of our church, the Roma church. And I just sat there and I was reading a bit of a novel and the birds were everywhere. And then I heard this beautiful, I was going to share it in the chat. I don't know if I did that. This beautiful, it was just a certain beat of music. It was coming from the play group, I think, over the road here. Kids making lots of noise, but this, and it was just, and it sat there. It was really relaxing me, and it was really making me because I was feeling weary as it was, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you couldn't hear it for some traffic. I tried to record it, but the birds were going, and
yeah.
but you can hear it. And I did, and Ron come and sat beside me, and I asked him, and he could faintly hear it. But it was really nice, and I'm thinking I wouldn't mind that because that was really a relaxing time.
Lovely,
Yeah, so
lovely. So that was like a pampering.
Yeah, I guess that
Yeah,
would have been. It
beautiful.
did. It
Could
made me
be.
feel,
It could be.
yeah,
It could be used in lots of different ways, really. So the next one was the expression of gratitude letter. And
yeah.
Yes, I didn't
actually, I
get
think
that
I put
done. No.
some comments on Facebook. So I put down that I hadn't done it. But yeah, I think I put some comments because I was very grateful, for
Yeah.
just all the things
Um,
with Charlie Kirk. So there you go.
yeah. I did a certificate of appreciation to my
That
husband.
was beautiful.
Well, that
And
was nice.
Yeah.
yeah, I went online and you could print them out and of course the first one was an award the way it was, and I thought, no, I changed it and went for a certificate and I put a bit more on it and I gave it to him and yeah, he liked it. And so I still appreciate him, even though I've been probably a little bit short at times today.
Well, you've got a little bit to prepare for next week, Linda.
Okay, righto.
I know there's a special event coming up next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Oh, is that the okay. Yes, I'm going out
20th?
for lunch. I'm going 24th, isn't it?
Yeah,
24th?
24th, but
Yeah.
it's your
Yeah.
20th, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And I've been, yes, it is. And I've been told that we're doing lunch on Wednesday instead of Thursday because it's our anniversary. So, and that was by my husband. I thought, okay, right out. That's nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And the last one this week was for a special activity to embrace your spirituality. I have a feeling it's in there, but I haven't recorded it.
Saturday,
I'm
I
not
did
sure.
something.
I
Hopefully,
was listening to
better.
some music last night in bed, and it was Peter Hollins and Home Free and a few of those, and sing they do like Amazing Grace, but they also do Sounds of Silence and some of
Oh,
the older
beautiful.
ones from yeah,
Nice.
and it was very nice and relaxing, and yes, I just was listening to that before I went to bed. So yes, I
Beautiful.
did.
Well,
Yeah,
well done. So, what
yeah, I
with
did that.
that, this is just about to run out of time, and we didn't quite
Yeah.
finish for in case anyone's watching this later. Um, but if you want to have your stand up, we had our scores last week, and like I said, thank you very much. We will run out of time, so I'm just asking myself, my vitality, is it high? And you just do yours as we go. Is it higher than 93? Yes, so that's good. 93. I'm just going to count 94, 95. So I'm on 95 this week. So that was quick and easy.
Right.
Yours
95.
was,
I,
yours
I,
was
I
95.
did
You
my,
had a really good score last week.
I did my vitality before and it was 93
Okay,
and now 95 because I'm a little bit with the chat and everything, I'm more
beautiful.
alive, but I admit that I think being tired has put my vitality down a little
Awesome.
bit. Yeah.
So there's a few other things you can do just to give you a little bit of a comparison. So our vitality is one thing. We keep track of that. And with under choices, I wrote my weight, so the scales. They're not always the best measure of what's going on with us, but sometimes it's a bit of a guide. And mine had gone up a little bit last week. So through the week, came down just that little bit, which was really good. And we're not far off. So you may measure, um, take measures if you want. But there's other things. So if you have pain, a little bit of a description of what the pain's like could be a good thing. If you're not feeling really good in the mind, maybe a description of how you're feeling so that you can come back at some stage and look at that and say, oh, yeah, no, I don't feel like that anymore. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, I still do. We can always compare it. Is there anything else that you might use? Maybe
I
shortness of
had,
breath if you're walking.
yeah, I had one. It was the first on the 10th. but I've forgotten now what the choice was. But it was a choice to look at the positive instead of the negative in some
Oh,
case, some
beautiful.
situation, and that.
Excellent.
But yeah, but I've found this week it's been really good. And I've got a lot of little things done that I want to do. I sort of, yeah, for me
Less than
too,
a minute.
those exercises from M were really good
Oh,
because
I meant to ask you
I've
about that.
I've done some calf ones. I've gone and changed my push-ups because that was the one that with what do you call it? Your muscle thing.
Okay,
Your
well, that
weight, your
is great.
push-ups,
We'll
weight
talk
bearing.
about those again in a moment. Thank you for
Okay.
going to that list. It was good for especially the weight bearing and just to
Mm.
give us a little bit extra. So with that, thank you. We will catch up again next week, and I'll catch up with you right now on our messenger. So thank you,
Okay.
ladies,
Okay.
and all the best to
Thank
Yes.
everyone
you.
watching.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
It should be stopping.